Justin and NES, filling your Tom Arnold needs one episode at a time.
Hey, Justin.
What's up, man?
Want to play a board game?
A board game? I thought we talked about video game.
Oh yeah. Want to play Anticipation?
Oh, I can't wait. Oh.
Yeah, it's basically a board game. Right?
Yeah. Right. Well, did you get my joke there?
Yeah, I did. I tried to ignore it.
You tried not to bring any attention to it?
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like your joke last week about the ESPN. I just tried to ignore it.
Yeah. Well, I brought it up as a public service so we could retire it. Right? You think so? No? Okay.
I'm not paying any attention to you.
Oh. Alright, I hope this is not how the show's gonna go. You're saying that.
As long as you steer clear of really bad jokes, we're good.
Alright.
Let's do some history.
Let's do some history. Alright.
It's time for Justin's historical tidbits and trivia.
So Anticipation was developed by the famous video game creator company, Rare, which, as we have talked about before, brought us games like Wizards and Warriors, Battletoads, Donkey Kong Country, GoldenEye 007, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Star Fox Adventures, and, I mean, Anticipation, easily probably the most famous game that they brought to us, right?
Yeah, that's the one I remember the most from them. Yeah.
Of course, right. And Rare is a British video game developer that was created by Tim and Chris Stamper in 1985. And they brought out this game in 1988. And as you can see by the box cover, it's fun for all ages, right?
Mm-hmm. As long as you are white and around 30-ish.
Right, exactly.
Then it's fun for all ages.
The people in the box are having a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. I'd like to know the history of that picture. That'd be great.
Yeah, I would too. Who's in the picture? You know, there's a couple. Let's be honest. There's a couple hotties.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm speaking of the dude's glasses in particular.
Of course, right. But Rare was evolved from a company called Ashby Computers and Graphics Limited, better known by the trade name Ultimate Play the Game. And so they brought games over to the Nintendo Entertainment System, and they convinced Nintendo that they could develop games for them, and then they released their first title, Slalom, which we'll talk about eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It was released in 1986. And then they released, like I said, probably their most famous game for the NES. Well, they've got a couple of more famous games, the Wizards and Warriors and Battletoads. Both pretty famous games. And then this game, released in North America in November of 1988, in Europe in October of 1989. Interestingly enough, I could not find a release date for Japan, which makes me wonder if Japan ever got this game.
I see it. I'm looking at the images on Google Image Search of just the cover, and I see one with some kind of Japanese writing on it. So
maybe they did. I'm sure they did. I don't know what name. Maybe this game was released in North America before.
Maybe. I don't know. That's your job. History is your job.
Yeah, it's true. I'm slacking on that, aren't I? But anyway, one of the more things that I enjoy about this game is the music. I thought the music was actually really good. And that was created by none other than David Wise, who was the house composer at Rare from 1985 to 2009. He was the sole company musician up until 1994. And of course he created music for games like Donkey Kong Country, which was more of his famous work. But I really liked the music in this game. Didn't you?
Yeah, I think, well, we can talk about that during gameplay, but I think that's the whole reason that our buddy Aaron Hickman was able to guess this game. Because, let's be honest, he guessed it again, like he always does.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think anybody was going to guess this one. But
Well, are you saying he probably never played this game?
are you saying he never played it? Or me?
You.
Well, I didn't play it, no.
Okay. Never mind.
Okay, anybody who played this game perhaps might guess it. I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like David Wise has a distinct style, which is why I'm saying that he probably guessed it
Yeah,
because he knew who
that's
the
right.
music.
He knew.
He knew it had to be rare because he knew David Wise what he sounded like. You know.
Right. Right. Okay. Anyway, David Wise created the music for this game. And really, that's about it as far as it's one of the earliest board games, as it says on the box art. It is Nintendo's first video board game. But interestingly enough, this is not a board game. This is just a video game board game, right?
Well, it kind of reminds me of. The name is going to escape me. now.
Pictionary. Pictionary?
Well, it's a little bit Pictionary, but it's also kind of. Forget it. We can sit here forever me trying to think of the name of this game. But it's a game where you have
Win,
different...
lose, or draw?
No. Yes, it does have the element where you draw,
Mm-hmm.
and people have to guess what you're drawing. Yes. So, but it's also got this board game set up with different colors, and the different colors represent different, categories, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Candyland.
yep, I think that's it. Actually, no, forget it.
Yeah.
I guess it's almost like Trivial Pursuit or something, but instead of asking you questions, they
Draw.
have you draw something,
Mm-hmm.
or the computer draws something for you and you guess it.
Right.
So I mean, it is a board game. It's just it's not one that you could easily play outside of the game.
Right. Let's talk about this box art for a second. Have you got it pulled up?
I do.
All right. Look at this. Look at the guy at the top right-hand corner. Yellow sweater.
He looks surprised.
Look how excited he is. I played this game a lot, and then I'll just say, this was my. I asked to do this game because
Mhm.
it was a game that I played as a kid.
Right.
But I don't think I ever had that look on my face.
That face, like the noise I imagine he's making while he's got that face is ooh.
Yeah, he
Like-
can't handle himself.
I just can't wait.
And then the guy that's actually playing down here, the in the blue shirt,
He looks creepy.
he looks like he's like getting away with something.
Yeah.
Like you're not. Are you secretly playing this game? Were you told that you couldn't play this game?
See, his wife is actually not in that picture,
Mm-hmm.
and she doesn't know he's playing.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then of course you've got grown up Minkus up there in the top.
He's the hottie I was referring to.
Yeah.
And I like the girl in the middle. Looks like she's waving at us.
Yeah. Yeah. Although if they're playing the game, it could be, oh, don't pick that, don't do that.
Yeah, I love what it does. Well, let's talk about the gameplay. Sorry.
Well, what about the guy in the orange and white striped shirt? Looks like Dave Coulier's less famous younger brother.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
At least he's supporting the big orange.
Hey, perhaps since this guy's getting away with it in the blue shirt, perhaps the girl in the right-hand corner, lower right-hand corner, is his wife, and she's walked in and go, oh, I can't believe you're playing this game.
Yeah, I can see.
That's the look she has on her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how the Dave Coulier guy is. He's basically just posing for the picture. This is like he's not even.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's not even playing the game. He just got his arm on the blue shirt guy
Yeah. Where's his other arm?
and a nice
That's
smile.
my question.
Probably down his back,
Yeah.
maybe a little further down.
Mm-hmm. Give him a back massage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that though. He just.
Hey, maybe that's why he's making that face because the Dave Coulier guy's giving him a back massage.
Yeah. Ooh, that feels good. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, this is a funny box art. So did you have this game? Did you play this game?
Is this quest time?
It's quest time.
It's Michael's quest to find the cart.
Well, I didn't have this game.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a first for our show. I did not find it. Mainly because by the time I was done searching, I didn't have time to get it off the internet.
Yeah.
I was a little delayed this week.
Well, I sprung this on you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I searched, couldn't find it in any local shops, and then didn't have time to go on the internet. Although once I did go on the internet to look it up, it was only a penny. So
Oh.
this game's a hit.
Well, I'll tell you this. That you could play the ROM online.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's not a purest way to do things,
Yeah.
but you can play the ROM online on the website that you put up
Okay.
about the Jaws.
Yeah, Game Oldies. Is that the
Yeah.
one? Yeah,
They've got pretty much every game
they do. Yeah.
on there. And
Actually,
you
that's
could-
what I did. I didn't play it, but I just
Mhm.
turned it on and let the computer play it. Because with this game, for some reason, you can
Mhm.
just turn. If you start it, you don't
Right.
actually have to play. You can just watch the computer answer all the questions.
I feel like that's a feature in video games that was like we saw a lot back then. A lot of games had that demo. They would just start up. Pac-Man did it.
Mhm.
Super Mario Brothers did it. You know, if you just let it sit there, it would just start playing itself. It was
Yeah.
like a demo.
I'm actually
so
watching it
kinda
as
what
we
to do.
talk, and you'll never guess what just came up.
Uh,
Floppy disk.
Floppy disk, nice. Reference to the last week's show. Like it.
I would have never guessed it either.
No. You know, I guess we could go ahead and start talking about the gameplay.
That sound must mean it's time for the game discussion.
So, the issue about this game is once you, especially with the easy and even the medium setting, after you play this game a good amount of times, it's really not even a challenge. The challenge is trying to buzz in before the other person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you already know
Mm-hmm.
what they are because you've seen them all. I mean, there's a lot of puzzles in this,
Mhm.
but there's also a lot of repeats.
Right. Well, and if you go to the hard or even very hard is actually pretty difficult, as the name suggests.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to go to those levels in order to, because it won't give you the starting dots anymore.
Right. Right.
And then that may, once you get so good at the game, you have to do that because just to give a little history on my gameplay on this. I used to play this game a lot with my grandmother. My grandmother had a Nintendo Entertainment System, and this is a game that she had, and she always wanted to play it. And at first, I was really reluctant, and then I started playing it. I really enjoyed it, and so it got to the point that every time I went over to her house, we would play this game, and we would have to play it on hard or very hard. We wouldn't play it on very hard very much because it's pretty difficult. But if we were playing it on easy, it was just who could buzz in the fastest.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, this game, it does kind of, if you start on like medium or something
mhm,
and you start playing the game, you know, it does kind of ramp up the challenge. Like level 1,
mhm.
you have the dots, you have the category, and you have the blanks at the bottom
Mhm.
that tell you how many blanks there are.
Right.
Then you move on to level 2 and they get rid of the blanks. But you still have
Right.
the dots in the category. And then level 3, they get rid of the dots, I think. But you still have the category.
Right.
And then you get nothing. It just starts drawing it. And you have to guess
Mhm.
it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the computer, if you play with the computer, a lot of times he'll give you a hint because he'll guess the word.
Mhm.
But he will
Yeah.
leave out a couple of letters and put stars in there instead.
yeah.
Like he'll give
Yeah.
it to you, basically. You just got to
Yeah.
fill in the star.
Right. Well, yeah, I didn't really play against the computer a lot. Usually it was me and her playing. But, yeah, I do realize that. Now, the thing about, but yeah, once you get to the hard or very hard, see, easy and medium have 3 levels. And then hard and very hard have 4 levels. So, once you know, in like hard, the first level you get the category. And I think you may get the spaces, but you don't get the dots. So it just starts out without getting the dots.
Mhm.
But now the easy is pretty funny because like the first, like the yellow category for the easy is just alphabet. And it just draws out a letter of the alphabet.
That's cool.
And it gives you the dots. So anyway, now we're gonna go. Let's see. Here's some solution to the man-made themed cards. They draw a building, a beehive, a teepee.
Wait.
What?
A beehive?
A beehive.
That's
Yeah,
not
I've seen that one
man-made.
before. I know.
That's bee-made.
Yeah. Maybe they're. Well, here I've got I know why it's man-made. Because the worker bees are all males, right?
Yeah.
And they're making the beehive.
Okay.
So that's why it's man-made. Right?
I guess.
You okay with that?
No, but I'm pretty sure if it would have been male-made, then perhaps. But
Yeah.
I do not give them a pass on that one. Nope. Sorry.
Right. Mm-hmm. What about Tombstone? That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Let's bring in some happy-go-lucky themes there. Tombstone. Let's show the kids that are playing this game what the end game in life is.
There's nothing wrong with a tombstone.
Nothing wrong with the Tombstone?
No. Okay, I'm watching. Let me tell you right now. Right now, I'm watching level 3 on the medium setting, and I'm loving the purple category. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but they do like words mixed with pictures. Like they just drew a crab and put it and wrote out the word apple.
Oh yeah,
crab
yeah.
apple. And then they did a. Let's see. They did chin. They wrote the word chin and then put ×2, like double chin.
Nice.
So
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's pretty fun. You know, if we made this game, we'd definitely make a crab tree.
Oh yeah, Josh.
A crab and a tree.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would.
Yeah. So let's see, another yellow theme is the office theme, which they do a chair, a file cabinet, a tack, ink. I remember ink because it was funny as a kid because it was like, why are they using ink? Because it's not like anybody actually uses ink anymore. It dips their quill pen in there.
Oh, I do all the time.
You use a feather
Mm-hmm.
as a pen.
Yep,
Mhm.
sure
Right.
do.
And then
I work at a 1800s printing press.
right, so you just do calligraphy all the time.
Yeah.
Right. You remember when they tried to teach us calligraphy in like elementary school?
I remember learning cursive.
Yeah, you know, in a day and time where we talk about, do we even need to learn cursive? How important is calligraphy?
Is it not the same thing?
No. You know, calligraphy's standing over here like, look, what's up here, guys? You just dropped me without even discussing it. You're at least discussing cursive. But look at me. You just dropped me.
Yeah. Speaking of cursive, I'm in the camp that says yes, they must learn cursive.
Mm-hmm.
But my only reasoning is because I had to.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking your reasoning was going to be.
I mean, other than that, signing your name, that's probably about it.
Yeah, I don't want to live in a world where everybody's printing their name, right, their signature.
Right.
That's not a path we want to go down.
No, I agree. I think everybody should learn how to sign their name in cursive, and then that's about all.
Because mainly, if you were like, let's say you were working somewhere, let's say you were a waiter, and somebody signed their check and they just wrote out their name in print, would you not ask them to do it again?
I would. Well, I don't know. That's a fine line. Have they tipped me yet?
No, yeah, they've already tipped it.
Okay, if they've already tipped me, I would say, would you please mind signing this?
Yeah. Can you imagine working somewhere where it's like, you know, you're like, I mean, because if somebody did that, like, I would actually question their intelligence, wouldn't you?
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, you know, not to be too offensive, but I'd be like, now we've probably lost a couple listeners that just print their name now.
Nah, I don't think our listeners would do such a thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, I've got,
So anyway.
I've got a question about this game.
Sure.
Okay, if you're player one, do you have to be the high heels?
Yes.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. We were gonna, I was gonna get to that. You can't actually choose your token unless you manipulate the remotes.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm gonna be the remote 2, because remote 2 is the trumpet, right?
Yeah. It's high heels, trumpet, teddy bear, I don't know what, duck, maybe?
Ice cream. It's ice cream cone.
Oh, ice cream cone. It's turned over and laying on the ground.
Yeah. hmm
Okay.
It's a funny, because, you know, like, it's kind of like a steal off of Monopoly. The high heels, the bugle, and teddy
I was
bear.
kind of thinking of that, too.
But then the ice cream cone is kind of just an oddball. Don't you think?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's definitely taken some Monopoly,
hmm
for sure.
Now, one of my favorite office-themed solution, television. How's a television? You shouldn't be watching TV at work.
Depends on what your job is.
At the very most, you should be listening to a podcast.
Yes. Actually, everybody should be listening to our podcast while at work. That's what should
Right.
be happening.
To where everybody could listen to.
Yeah.
hmm Alright, the green cards. Clothing themes. We got a helmet,
Uh-huh.
tie, a ring, buckle, a Viking helmet. One of my favorites. Okay, leisure theme. Now this is pretty fun. Some of the leisure themes. Cause you put up the one on Facebook, the
Bible.
yellow leisure, the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go relax and read some Revelations. I'll be back.
Some people may
But-
find it relaxing. You never know.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Die, as in the singular of dice.
As in, die, my darling. Right.
Right.
Okay.
I remember as a kid I always got hung up on that because it just give you 3 slots and it would draw a die. But I was like, well, that's dice. How is that 3 letters?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was an idiot. Go ahead. You can say it.
No, it's okay. I'll leave you to your own conclusions there about the intelligence of your youth.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
A boomerang. Now I love, if any of our listeners came over from the Retro Thought Pod, that reminded me. Your brother's story about the boomerang.
Yeah. That's
Perhaps the greatest Christmas story I've ever heard.
It rivals shooting your eye out.
Oh yeah. Remember we were doing our best Christmas memories? And all of his were depressing.
All of his were depressing, yep.
It's like, do you like Christmas, or is this just oh man. Yeah.
Hey, when this Christmas rolls around, the listeners should go listen to that old Retro Thought Pod.
It's really a funny episode.
Yeah, it is.
Especially
We may not have had many funny episodes, but that was a good one.
But Matthews were definitely still the show.
Yeah.
We're all depressing and hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the science theme, which you have a needle. This is interesting.
And a spoon. That's a treat.
A what?
Sorry. I keep getting these songs popping in my head. That one was the Leonard Skinner.
Oh.
Noodle and
Oh,
spoon.
okay. Yeah, okay. A beaker, compass, a telescope, microscope, a rocket ship, a robot that looks eerily similar to R2-D2,
Mhm.
a TV camera, whatever that means. Well, it's a camera that records like on television show.
Do you want me to explain to
I
you
just
what a
figured
TV
that
camera
out.
is?
I just figured that out on my own.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So in this game, when you go to guess,
Mhm.
right, you pick the wrong letter, and it says nope, that's the wrong
Good.
letter.
Yeah.
It says you get one more shot,
Mhm.
and then you pick another letter, and it goes, I warned you.
Yeah, I told you.
I told you only got one more shot, and then you lose.
I like that. So no, it's a very good I told you so moment in video game history.
Now my question is, where's the remake to this game? HD remake.
They should do it. 3D.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey, actually, with the inclusion of the gamepad on the Wii U, this could actually work. Because nobody would be able to see what you're drawing on the gamepad, right? They could just see as you're drawing it on the screen.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
You'd
How about
actually have
that?
to draw yourself. I like
Yeah,
it.
you would draw it, yeah. You would take turns drawing,
Mm-hmm.
and the person with the gamepad would draw it. Of course, nobody could see what you're drawing. They could put the dots on the gamepad to give you like a go-by, like connect the dots.
Right.
And you could kind of draw it out the best you could, and then the people in the room guess. It's like, yeah, totally rare.
I like
Hey, $1 million idea right here. Well, maybe
Pull it
not.
up.
Maybe not $1 million, but
Call them.
let me call David and see if he's still in the biz.
You could single-handedly save the Wii U. Right there.
Yeah.
Anticipation 2.
Forget Mario Kart 8 or Super Smash Brothers. No.
Right.
Anticipation 2 is going to save
Right.
the Wii U.
Mhm.
Hey, that's even a slogan. Listen there.
Right.
Anticipation 2 will save the Wii U.
You've got your pitch right there. I think you should fly to Nintendo headquarters right now. Or
All right.
Rare headquarters.
All right, I'll be back.
Either way, you're going to have to fly over the ocean. This Rare's in England and Nintendo's place in Japan. Anyway, here's some of the solutions to the math-themed cards. They do a square root and a cube root. Then they just do numbers, 1 through 9. Pi, everybody's favorite. Speaking of pie, this is 4th of July weekend, and I had a lot of pie.
American Pie.
Did you have a lot of pie?
I had no, I didn't have a lot of pie. I had some cobbler.
Well, you know what the most American pie is, right?
Apple pie?
Mm-hmm. Right. So do they not have apple pie in other countries?
I don't know.
Or did we just invent it?
I have no idea. We need to call upon our historical podcast buddies. Anybody do a history podcast out there that wants to tell us the history behind American apple pie? I don't know. Where do apples grow the best? Probably in America.
Yeah. It sounds right. Mm-hmm.
Canada,
Apple?
maybe? Apples grow well in Canada? I don't know.
Well, apples were in the English colonies. Apple pie had to wait for planting of European varieties brought across. So there were no apples that were native to America.
Oh, wow. So apple
the-
pie is not that American.
In the meantime, the colonists were more likely to make their pies or pastries from meat rather than fruit.
Ooh, meat
Would you like-
pie.
Would you like some meat pie?
I've actually heard of that, actually.
Yeah. Well, shepherd's pie.
That's not really pie, though, although I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
We got any shepherd's pie lovers out there in podcast land? Let us know.
So there are American apple pie recipes, both manuscript and printed, from the 18th century, and has become a very popular dessert. But in the New World, planting the seeds was more popular, which quickly led to the development of hundreds of new native varieties. Apple pie was a common food in 18th century Delaware, as noted by the New Sweden historian Dr. Israel Acrelius. In a letter, apple pie is used throughout the whole year, and when fresh apples are no longer to be had, dry ones are used in the evening meal of children. There you go.
All right. Sounds good.
Although apple pies have been eaten since long before the European colonization of the Americas, as American as apple pie is a saying in the United States, meaning typically American. It became a symbol of American prosperity in the 19th and 20th century. And a newspaper article published in 1902 declared that no pie-eating people can be permanently vanquished. That's true.
Mm-hmm. So, welcome everybody to the Apple Pie Podcast.
Exactly.
Starring your hosts, Michael and Justin.
One more thing.
Listen as we read directly from some kind of apple pie fact page.
So really, we didn't invent it or anything, but we loved it, apparently. But anyway, the unincorporated community of Pie Town, New Mexico, is named in honor of the apple pie.
I don't see people in New Mexico eating a whole lot of apple pie.
You don't? Why?
I don't know. It's hot.
It seems like a very southern thing, too.
It seems like and to me, apple pie is kind of like if I'm really hot and sweaty, I'm not reaching for an apple pie, probably.
Unless it's got a big old scoop of ice cream on it.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You won me over.
Right.
Okay.
I feel like pie I can eat just about any time. If somebody says pie, I'm going for it.
What about cobbler? Because that's what I eat all the time. Now that is a southern thing.
Yeah, I love cobbler. Don't get me wrong, especially a good peach cobbler.
I like blackberry cobbler.
Oh man, you know what? I've got a bunch of blackberries growing around my house,
and
we made some blackberry jam the other day.
Oh yeah,
and it is amazing.
You should have made blackberry cobbler.
We'll have to do that. We got plenty. We still had plenty of red ones on the bush.
Okay.
So there'll be plenty of blackberries to have over the summer.
All right.
Right. All right. Some more miscellaneous themed cards.
Okay.
Space Invaders. Hot Dog Stand, which is one of my favorites. Dumbbell.
I can tell you really love this game.
I do.
And I can tell that I really don't, because you're naming off these categories, and I'm thinking, God, how many categories are there?
There's a lot.
And while you're getting like all this enjoyment, and there's probably listeners out there like, ooh, all these categories are really interesting, but I'm sitting here like, I'm glad I didn't really play this game.
Mm-hmm. Well, the tool themed category is probably some of the funnier ones, because some of these are just not what you would consider tools. So you got a nail and a rake, pretty easily. Screw, a wrench. Then you come out with a watering can.
It's a tool to water your plants. Okay.
A key.
A tool to open doors.
Okay. What about this one? A balloon.
I don't know. A tool a tool to satiate children.
What? Oh, satiate children. I thought you said a tool to say they ate children.
No. You gotta slur it. You gotta push it together more. Satiate.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Say she ate.
Say she ate children. Okay. All right. The natural themed cards. You got a lightning, a giraffe, an Xmas tree, penguin, a shark, snail.
My wife's afraid of penguins. We're not afraid.
Well,
she just really doesn't like them.
How are you afraid of?
I don't know. It really bothers me because I really like penguins.
Did she have a traumatic
trip to the zoo?
Yeah. penguin incident in her early life.
Maybe.
I almost think that if I had I would almost enjoy a traumatic experience with penguins. Like
I don't know,
being attacked by penguins might
They could
almost
be pretty
enjoyable.
mean, I think. Can't they?
Yeah, but like I said, it almost would be enjoyable.
What's that noise they make? It's like
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
hmm
it could be scary. I could hear that being scary.
But think of the story. You can tell everybody. What happened to you? Attacked by penguins. You know,
You know how it goes,
my grandfather went the same way.
dude. Your grandfather goes in so many different ways on this show. I can't count how many times you've said that.
Alright. Food themes. Popsicle, you put that one up. Although on the snowman that you put up, I like the Heisenberg answer.
Yeah, like from Breaking Bad,
Breaking
right?
Bad, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which I just started watching. It's pretty good. Have you seen
It's
it?
the best show ever, yes. I've
I'm on
watched every
season.
episode.
We're about halfway through season 2. It's good,
Yeah. Oh man.
and it
It's
just
so
keeps
good.
getting better.
It's one of those It's one of those shows too, where it's like when me and Felicia would watch it after Leah went to bed.
Oh, you didn't
not
let Leah
really-
watch it?
Not really in that show, and we would Leah would go to bed around 10, 11. We'd be like, okay, we're just gonna watch one episode. Next thing I know, it'd be 3 o'clock in the morning. We're still watching episodes because it's like every episode ends on kind of a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
And you gotta watch the next episode.
Amber and I hold ourselves to one a night, just so that
Mhm.
we don't get carried away. So we just watch one a night. But I like it because it's like a really slow building show. I mean, like I'm in halfway through season 2, and not a whole lot's happened, but it's just really interesting. It's
Right.
slow building, and you really get into the characters.
Oh yeah, yeah. You really, the Heisenberg character, the Walter White character, may be one of the more beloved, certainly one of the most beloved bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he's not really as much of a bad guy in season 2. And really, the funny thing is
Don't
he
ruin
really,
this for me and any listeners out there.
Well, no, I'm not, because this has been talked about a lot, and that's the evolution of Walter White and how he goes from to really this bad guy. But at the very last episode, you still find yourself cheering for him. It's just it's very interesting how they pull you in enough to where you're so involved in the character that even though he does some pretty awful things, you still love the character.
Yeah.
All right, last little category I want to talk about is probably your favorite category because you just mentioned it.
The
The
Shovel
what's-
Knight category?
The whatchamacallit.
Oh, the
Things.
whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been playing Shovel Knight. It's a good game. I just want to give it a plug for anybody out there.
You wanted to just throw it out there.
For anybody who's not played it yet, they need
Right.
to get it. It's fun.
There's a wish upon a star where there's the word wish above a star.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You want to sing give us a line of the Jiminy Cricket?
No thanks.
Okay.
I'll spare the listeners. There's the Crossroads, which is a pretty interesting one. That's funny.
Okay, you want to give us a line of I don't know who sang that originally.
Bone
BB King,
Thug-
maybe.
Bone Thugs and oh no, you're talking about
I guess
What was
Eric
it?
Clapton did one, but I'm
Yeah.
thinking of the original. It's like a blues song. Anyway,
is it Jack Johnson?
Jack
maybe?
Johnson. Isn't
Yeah.
that the Hawaiian guy?
Hawaiian guy.
This is obviously not a music podcast. I'm thinking Jack Johnson. He's like a surfer dude.
Robert Johnson.
Robert Johnson. That's probably who it was, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Totem Pole.
Okay, you want to sing us a line of Toto? Africa?
There. Listen, I miss the rains down in Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do miss the rains down in Africa. Mhm. Yeah, Four Eyes. That's a pretty good one. I guess we'll stop talking about these categories. I do want to talk about the gameplay for just a second. There's two things that I like about the gameplay. One is the strategy of, the dice is counting down. You move how many spots the dice is on when you solve the puzzle. you have to be strategic in where you're doing. So if you haven't got all 4 categories, you need to know how many spots you need to go, and that's when you need to bring in. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then the later levels, they have holes. If you fall into a hole, you fall back
You
down
drop
to the
down.
lower level.
Mm-hmm. And probably on the later levels, one of my favorites, the gray spot. In the gray spot, you levitate, and then you circle around it really fast. And then whenever you hit A, it drops down on the spot that you want to drop down on. But the music when that's going is really cool. You like my reenactment?
Yeah, sounds just like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
So you like the music, you like the game, you love the game.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie. This game's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I give it a passing score, mainly because it's only a penny on Amazon. But if you got the nostalgia glasses and hat and parka on like you do, and this is probably I can see how this game really takes you back.
Yeah. But anyway, are you gonna buy it for a penny?
Yeah, I'll probably buy it for a penny.
You should probably buy it for a penny because it's really good.
Well, it's a penny plus $3 shipping. So
yeah, we've discussed this before. You're basically paying just shipping.
yeah, right. They're selling it to me for 50 cents or something. Actually, I may just wait until I can find it in the store. Surely it'll turn up eventually. I mean, if it's a penny, that means they're probably everywhere. So I'll wait till I can find it in person. Shop local. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Support your small business.
If only I had some retrofitted trophies.
So did you think of any cool trophies?
Come back to me. I think I can. You got any?
Yes. These hills are gonna walk all over you. That's beating the game with the high hills.
Okay.
Winning the game. You don't really beat the game, you win.
Win, yeah.
Got anything yet?
Okay, I can go with Skynet Takeover. That is, beat the game against 3 computer characters on very hard.
Ooh,
So it's like you're taking over Skynet.
I like that.
That'd probably be pretty hard to do, I imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I didn't really come up with very many trophies.
So you don't have any more?
No.
Alright, I'm not even going to try and embarrass us this week.
I like the Skynet takeover though.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's the only one I knew what it was. I was just trying to think of a name.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about a rating?
Let's rate those games with the game rating.
What about a rating? I mean, there's a lot we could do with this. Let's give it a rating of a board game.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
But not just one because it's similar or something. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Don't go easy. Just
be creative.
Yeah.
All right, I got it. I'll go ahead and start us out here. And I'm going to go with Candyland
Okay.
because both this game and Candyland is kind of one of those things where it's like playing it now. It's not very hard. And it's really not even that great of a game, but it has that nostalgic feel to it. And you really and for me, I really enjoy it because it brings back so many memories, just like Candyland does. With that dastardly Lord Licorice.
Right. And Princess Peppermint?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
No, you're right.
I just remember playing. We made drinking Candyland when we were in college.
Yeah.
That's all I remember. That's good times.
Right.
Kids, don't drink.
Right.
I guess I'm gonna go with Life.
Oh yeah.
And the reason I'm gonna go with Life is because my wife loves the game. It's one of the only board games she loves, and she always makes me play it. And I don't really like it all that much. I kind of feel like that's what happened on this podcast.
I being your wife in this
In this scenario, you were my wife. You really like this game.
I'm making you play it.
You're making me play it, and I don't really like it all that much.
Yeah, but I gotta admit, Life is not a very good game.
It's kind of boring, and it's the same thing every time.
Yeah, it's it's not. Yeah, you're not getting anything new there. It's kind of like
it's like if you can be the doctor, you win.
Yeah.
If you draw the doctor card, you win.
It's kind of like Monopoly.
It got so bad that Life, I had to start making up rules to make it more interesting. Like I've made each job have more functions. Because, if you land on certain spaces, like your car breaks down, you pay $1,000. Well, I had, in that game, I said, well, okay, if you land on that space where your car breaks down, if somebody's the mechanic, you pay them that $1,000.
Ooh.
That sort of thing. Or like if you file a lawsuit and sue somebody, if somebody's the lawyer, they always take 10%.
I like it. It's kind of almost like Monopoly.
Yeah.
I own this road. You must give me money.
Right. That actually makes the lawyer card, or the lawyer job, almost as good as the doctor job, because there's a lot of suing other player spaces.
Yeah, but, the thing about, like, games like Monopoly and Life is you gotta invest so much time to sit down and play it. It's not a game you can play in, like, 20 minutes. Like, sorry. And there's a game.
I don't know. See, the thing is, if I'm going to set up a board game on a table and sit around it, I don't want to spend the time setting it up for 20 minutes. I'm ready to invest an hour and a half, 2 hours if I'm going to do that. Or in the case of a game like Risk, 7 hours.
Yeah, days.
Risk is. Yeah. I love Risk, but it's too long.
Right. What's the one that's It's like Risk, but it's more like World War II.
Strategio?
No. Can't think of it now.
Risk is pretty World War II. It's definitely World War.
Yeah.
And they have different versions of Risk, too.
Yeah. I
don't know. Welcome, everybody, to Board Game Talk with Justin and Michael.
Well, with anticipation, you could play it for 20 minutes. It's not a 3-hour video game.
Did they ever make an actual board game version?
No. I looked it up. No.
I know they had for some reason, I thought I saw they made a Mattel version of this game.
They may have, but I never saw it.
But it was still an NES game, but it was like the Mattel version.
Axis and Allies. That's the game I was looking for.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've never played that one.
Yeah.
It sounds like fun, though.
There's Axis and this is kind of games like Risk, Axis and Allies, Stratego, which our buddy Grant loved.
Yeah, I like Stratego. Or Stratego, or however you spell it.
Yeah.
Say it.
Battle Cry, which is a Civil War based game. And Diplomacy. I gotta feel like that, just name alone, I don't like that game. Let's sit down and settle our differences.
Hey, are we seriously going to take this anticipation episode to an hour? We're pushing an hour.
Well, we went on plenty of tangents.
Yeah. How about we go to feedback?
Well, all right, we'll be back with more awkward Tom Arnold references in just a moment.
Okay.
So that anticipation is not our longest episode.
We could talk about Sweet Feed some more.
I think everybody liked the Sweet Feed talk.
Yeah, I do like that somebody said, I just got this broken bag here. That was great.
So we got some really good reviews on our app, our Android app.
Oh yeah,
Should I read them?
I'm looking forward to this.
Okay. Let me preface this, by the way. My name is Michael Kelso, for anybody who doesn't know my last name. So let me preface this first review. It's a 1-star review on our app from a Jalen Kelso. He says, "It sucks. I don't know a Michael Kelso, but I'm Jalen Kelso, and your game sucks."
This is so funny. Our game sucks. Yeah, our game does suck, actually.
If you went into our app trying to play it as a game, that would be the worst game.
Yeah. All right, Jalen. I don't know Michael Kelso, but I'm Jalen. That's just hilarious.
And your game sucks. Oh man.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah. So, and if anybody out there downloaded our app hoping to get some awesome game, I'm sorry. It's just a companion app for our podcast. That's all. It is.
All right.
All right, and then the next one is Matt Diamond. Ooh, it's almost like Matt Damon.
It is Matt Damon, probably.
Matt Damon. Dang you, Matt Damon. I knew you'd get us eventually. Now, he says, "This sucks. The people who do the podcast are jerks."
You know, this is just too good. I love this.
It's another 1-star, by the way.
These reviews are just great. But the problem I have with these reviews is, like, for us, like for small little startups like us, like, we use feedback to make a more positive experience for our listeners.
Yeah.
And if you really thought our app was terrible and you wanted to tell us why it was terrible or why our podcast was terrible, give us a 1-star and tell us why we're terrible. Don't just say we're jerks or that we're
Yeah, really.
that we suck or our game sucks. Or
I'd rather you not give us a 1-star. Tell us why we're terrible first. But if you are going to give us a 1-star, at least tell us why it's not any good. I mean, I think the app is pretty good. I think it works.
It's a very good app.
It does its purpose. It serves its purpose.
But
anyways, I thought those two. I definitely love having those two on there though, because anybody who reads them knows it's. Well, I don't know. Maybe the one about us being jerks. If nobody's heard the podcast, maybe that'll turn them off. But
well, the thing about it is, Adam Carolla was talking about this on his podcast. It makes a lot of sense. So, you know, as far as like reviews go, you know, like everybody's familiar with the Rotten Tomatoes site, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have like an outlier rule. So if one movie, let's say, comes in and it's getting like from, let's say they take 15 critics and 14 out of 15 rate it and 85 or above. And then one critic comes in, the 15th critic comes in and rates it a 27 out of 100. Well, they throw that out because they view that as, well, you're not really reviewing this movie. You clearly can't be reviewing the movie. You have some kind of bias towards it. You see?
like Jalen.
Like, yeah, like you
because
don't
we
like,
share the same last name. He does not like our game.
Right. Yeah. Our game. But you know, it's like you throw that out because there's some kind of bias there. You're not really, if there's no way that, you know, most of the reviewers are rating this good and you're reviewing this bad. And it works the other way too. But you know, like companies like Amazon, they don't do that. So if you go to a book that may be a really good book and it has a rating of 4.3, let's say, or even higher, 4.7, and it could have mostly 5 stars, but then there's a few 1 stars that drag it down a little bit. And the reason it's dragging it, but those 1 stars, you could argue, should actually be thrown out because there's some kind of bias. Like, if you actually read their review, you might find that it just says, this sucks.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, I guess long story short, if you use our app out there, would you mind just giving us an honest rating and hopefully bumping it up a little bit over top of Jalen and Matt Damon?
Yeah. Tom Arnold would be impressed if we got some good reviews. Tom Arnold would be impressed with our app.
Some people have actually given it. They haven't written any reviews, but they've given it 5 stars. So I appreciate that to everybody who's done that.
Yeah.
How about some other feedback? How about some Facebook feedback?
All right.
Jay Jorgensen says, nothing screams 80s like the cover of this game.
I love the lips on the cover.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, I mean, not the cover, but the start screen.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Upel says, I'm so full of anticipation, quote unquote, anticipation for this podcast.
Right. You're right.
I get it. I'll say the same thing I did to Justin earlier in the show, Jeff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Eric Purcell. Oh, I'm sorry. Eric Purcell says, all I can hear is the song, which is now kind of stuck in my head. Does anyone have some Heinz 57 ketchup?
Mm-hmm.
Eric may have to explain that one to us.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Was it a cover song?
I don't
Had
know.
something to do with Heinz 57? I don't know.
So you put on the. So you guys want to play this game now, huh? Jeff Upel said, it's no Adventures of Lolo or Family Feud, but you only live once. Why not spend that precious life dominating anticipation? Are you being sarcastic here, Jeff?
Maybe he's really good at anticipation.
Alright. And Jeremy Fain said, I'd rather play Punch-Out still.
I'd rather play Punch-Out too. When are we going to play Punch-Out? We're waiting
I don't know. I feel
Okay,
like a lot of people have requested that game.
I know. We've been saving it for our buddy John, and he's apparently not going to come on the show.
He's an expert in the game of Punch-Out.
Except for he's never beat it, and I have, so what's
Well,
up, John?
expert as in he spent a lot of time talking about it.
Yeah, he's an expert in talking about that game,
Yeah.
so we need to have him on.
Well, we need to arrange that soon.
Yeah, we'll get that rolling soon. I promise.
And then on the Snowman, of course, with Eric Purcell put Heisenberg. Jeff Upel put Gettysburg Address. That's a little chubby for Abe Lincoln, Jeff. But, and then on the picture of the ugly creature there that you put up, the Space Invaders.
Yeah.
Eric Purcell. Oh, sorry. Eric Purcell put Space Invader.
Mhm.
Philip Vaughn put Evil. Paul Stevenson put Stop Hammer Time. And then Jeff Upel. Oh, Jeff. I hope your mother-in-law does not have Facebook.
We better make sure his mother-in-law doesn't listen to this show.
My mother-in-law? That's great. Oh, boy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Is that all the feedback? Let's start wrapping this up. So we can get in under that hour.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can. I'll let you do it. This is your thing. Don't let me steal your thunder.
Check us out. NESdudes.com. Little tidbits and everything about our show. You can listen to every show from episode 1 to now. You can find us, of course, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and every other social media outlet that I don't even understand or know that exists. We're on it. Review us on iTunes. And, of course, as always, please tell a friend if you like the podcast. Tell your family, your friends, your coworkers, anyone.
Good job.
All right.
All right, here comes the noises and the bleeps and whatnot for next week. See you, everybody.